Yeah, we move things up a little now to look at what Senator Monday Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, has been doing by way of trying to reposition the state, at least based on what he came with as his agenda for prosperity and growth. So, incidentally, you are an Edo man, and you are apparently vehemently passionate about what is happening in Edo regarding the governance and all of that there. Obaseki had done 8 years and he's gone. Now, one would have thought, well, let bygone be bygone, and so on and so forth. But that hasn't been the case. How is it that almost 3 weeks since the man left office, it is still almost as if we have two governors in Edo State?
No. Obaseki
and Obaseki. So how do you explain the Obaseki narrative in a new government?
Negatively. First of all, congratulations to Edo State. The state is now being repositioned on the trajectory of progressive governance. The new governor on inauguration posited 5-point agendas, varying from education, infrastructure, security, health, and the economy. And if you look at it, there's a link among all this. A healthy people drive productivity, which in turn improves the economies of the people. Investment in education is one of the biggest panacea to driving innovation and solving challenges in our societies. Infrastructural revolution is the bedrock upon which every economic activity strives. Because even when you talk of localization of industry, one of the factors that will bring about industries is good infrastructure. Good roads network will open the rural economy, will stratify the state and open up the state for reinvestors, not MOU, not investors on papers. MOU that cannot translate to reinvestment is useless. Security is also security infrastructure by extension. And in the last 10 to 15 days, we see what has been going on. What heralded this administration was a palpable fear of court clashes and what have you. You saw how, as the chief security officer, he took responsibilities. On the economy-wise, the local economy of Edo State, he has to rescue the spirally inflation of produce, goods and services that was going on in Edo State. On this program, I told you that Edo State was among the most costly states when it comes to
food items.
But you saw what he did. There have been a lot of economic sabotage in the name of unions, associations, who became a clog on the wheel of progress of Edo State for the past 8 years. They were accommodated by the governor, because the former governor, because they were using them for political interest group. But he came, firm leadership, decisive administration. He ordered the stoppage of all those, banned them. Because being a union or being an association does not give you the rights by any law to go and be collecting levies from people for yourselves, or hijacking, becoming a spurious middleman, hijacking goods from people, selling at exorbitant prices, and creating unnecessary hardship in the economy. And the other one, infrastructural revolution. He hit the ground running. You talk of Obaseki, we're talking of firm infrastructure here. We're not talking of fake. You could see the roads that he has a bank on, even the ones that were ongoing, how he visit there, review things. And for the first time, we're talking of having a flag. Is it not even an irony? Edo State, or Edo as a nation, was already a city before the invasion in 1897. Edo was among the first kingdom in Africa to have street lights. In Africa, when there was no Nigeria. It's ironic that over almost 60-something years of Nigerian independence, Edo State remained like an ancient city without modern infrastructure to drive the real economy, making people at times regard us as civil servant states. And the man has hit the ground running in that regard, trying to create a back on revolutionary infrastructures. Groundbreaking ceremonies, construction started. In education, is going around the schools, awarding contract immediately, because some of the project is awarded today. He saw them during campaign, like the school in Ovia that was in shambles. To tell you, is somebody that does not forget. Keep it to his promise. He promised them during campaign, and after winning election, the school in Ovia was among the first place he went to. So how is Obaseki? How do you have two governors in the state? Obaseki belonged to the wrong history, unfortunately. So the traditional institution, what the governor just did.
The artifacts.
Not just artifacts, restoring the status. When we were saying it here, it was all about as if it was allegation that the former governor was already threatening, issuing letters, correspondence that altered the status of the Oba of Benin in the traditional equation. The Edo South, he wanted to balkanize it into the 7 local governments. Each local government will now be having a local government traditional council. Meanwhile, the entire Edo South of 7 local governments have one traditional council, which is the Benin Traditional Council, headed by the Oba of Benin. You saw what Ubewole is doing now, returning that status back. Look at what they wanted to do from Obakezwa Cultural Center. All those reversals, it's not Oguchon. We are putting a door on the trajectory of real progress, real governance, not governance for pure selfish interests. Nobody cares about. We are not visiting the past, but you cannot move forward without reviewing what you met on ground. Should I just continue? Look at the hospital. They show it on television. Which day? 2 days ago. You commission an ongoing project as if you said it's completed. You just commit a block in the hospital, the Stella Obasanjo Hospital. Just a block was when you painted a block inside the full hospital and commission it as you say ultra-modern, multi-billion. In specific, can Obaseki tell us how much in specific is the amount in that for that hospital? And you are still seeing corporate work going on in some part of the hospital. It was on air. Is that not a sham? And somebody feel we should not mention his name. He belongs to the wrong history. Benin Enterprise Park, since 2017, you told us it's an enterprise that our industry will be there. After 8 years, with billions sank into it, the new government discovered that it's just a perimeter fence. And you don't want it to be reviewed. In July 2023, you awarded the Radisson Blue Hotel a contract. You announced to the whole world, awarded for 19 billion to Shipoli Nigeria Limited. Meanwhile, in the records of the contractor is 15 billion. Fast forward to 2024, less than a year later, you review the contract to 23 billion. And again, within few months, everything became 28 billion.
For the project.
And now claim is a PPP, is a private arrangement. Meanwhile, Obaseki's firm, Afri Investment, did the financial feasibility plan for the project and collected about 3 billion. Meanwhile, Asha Igodalo's law firm was the legal advisor for the project, collected 1.5 billion.
So Afri Invest collected consultancy on that.
Signing MOU with yourselves. You told us you a refinery. You are going to you went to China. You are bringing refinery to Ologbo. You signed agreement that Edo State and the Chinese outfit was going to build the refineries. And the man that served as a friend of his, Osime, who served as a witness in that deal in China. Today is now the managing director of the refinery. They removed in the whole structure of the refinery now. You can't even find the Chinese. You can't find it. There is now a private owned company. Meanwhile, Edo State government in the books, it shows that Edo State government released Obaseki released 1 billion as a take-off grant, with added to the fact that you collected land from Ologbo indigenes. And you now say it's only owned company, and you don't want Edo State people to ask questions. So it's been mentioned in the negatives, and it's unfortunate.
So let's.
You told us you are building industrial park, another industrial park in Esan, that you want to replicate it across the 3 local government, 3
central districts. Yes.
You will arrange another one in Aochi. You even approve an appropriated 4.something billion for truck modern trucking zone in Agile.
That's next issue.
Yes, and nothing. There's no. Let's just show us the land self. Appropriated though. And you say we should not mention it. Obamelo is starting well. We are not witch-hunting anybody, but we are reviewing as we are going forward. Whatever we come across, we have to let the other people know.
Should Obaseki be probed? Should Obaseki be probed?
That would be the decision of.
No, I know you don't make that call, but I'm saying, given all the business you said and much more, I guess you know. Do you think Obaseki should be?
A lot of reversals is going to be done.
But that's not a probe.
It is not because the reversal, whoever is obstructing the reversal is calling for probe.
Including the former governor.
Of course, because when you are obstructing the reversal of wrong policies, for example, you pump our money in Ologbo, the refinery in Ologbo, and you expect the money, and you are not claiming that the refinery is a private owned refinery. Then it's either the private company return Edo State money to them, pay for the land, return the 1 billion initial investment. You understand? Or the structure is restructured in a way and Edo State have a share on an equity arrangement. If that one is not possible, then you are inviting for probe. Yes, you have to help us. The same thing with the Radisson Blue Hotel. All those things will be reviewed with all the respective people is dealing with.
Okay, talking about the people he's dealing with, we hear many of his former aides are now, as it were, on the radar of the new government under the leadership of Mr. Okpebolo, because we understand a lot of recovery is being done, including vehicles, for instance. But this is not the first time we're seeing a committee like this being set up. I mean, Adams and Shomana did the same 16 years ago. That report never saw the light of day. So what difference does this make?
Recovery. They are not talking of when we recover what we want to recover, we'll let you go. We are just correcting an anomalies that you serve as a political appointee under a governor does not give you the right to collect government.
But some of those people say that these items, including some of the vehicles, had already been monetized under former Governor Obaseki.
Give us records. You think the government is not stupid. They must have reviewed. Why are you returning it? Why don't you take the government to court if you actually own the vehicles by rights? Whether it was monetized, so you take it up. Why don't you take the government up? Why don't you go and get a court injunction stopping the government from collecting the vehicle from you or collecting the asset? You remember even before the swearing in, the deputy governor announced and wrote a circular to some of the permanent secretaries and directors of state agencies that this is the rumor is hearing, nobody should go away with government properties. So proof to the committee. The committee is made up of people with great minds, intelligent men,
including for the most part party members of the APC who have an axe to grind with Obaseki.
Like what?
For example, you have people like Razak Benosagi, there you have people like Asan Ojozuwa, former chairman of the party in the state. These are people who have.
That's not the fact that you stole vehicles and you collected government properties into your hands.
And then you use political enemies to hunt them.
You don't use. You call them political enemies. There's no enemies in politics. It's permanent interest.
So this is the interest of the governor?
No, the interest of the Edo State government. This is not about APC or PDP. The Obaseki you are talking about, was it not in APC before?
But let me ask you something real quick. Yeah, of course, he moved at the twilight of the election in 2020. Exactly. But let's talk about Obaseki in office for 8 years, because the coloration that this government under Okpebolo is given to Obaseki and his government is that he never got anything right. But can we not stop for a second and look at some of the things he did do right?
If he got something right, he would have voted this party out. And to be candid, the head of his economic team, who was the candidate of the PDP, the people voted. It's not about APC now. People choose a progressive government over MOU in sham government. What did he do right? Every attempt to do something right was to do it wrong for a selfish interest.
Including education, agriculture, and the civil service, for example.
$75 million to do Edo Best. Now people is rebuilding schools. What is the Edo Best in education? Do you know what $75 million translated in Naira? Just do the calculation. That is not the regular budget for education. Just a one-off program inside education policy was the Edo Best. Edo Best was supposed to create the best in education for Edo people, from primary to secondary. And we bequeathed a legacy of dilapidated education infrastructure. We should talk about it. What of the agriculture you mentioned? You are from Edo North. The next time you go home, you should just take a car and go to Sobe, where it sank to 3 billion. That we are going to be producing rice. And I'm not talking of the anchor borrower scheme that Edo State collected over 5 billion. Where is the rice? Edo State, in a bag of rice today in Edo State goes for almost 120,000 naira. And Edo State have the capacity, just for local government in rice production can feed Delta, Edo, Ekiti, and Ondo. If well stratified. Ilushi farm, Anegbete farm, Agbede Warake farm, Sobe farm, Subeno farm, Agenebude Leventis farm. Still talking about agriculture. What of the 69 billion palm oil investments window created by the then CBN under President Muhammadu Buhari and presented? You mentioned agriculture. So which of the policies are we really talking about?
So he never got it right for 8 years.
It wasn't about rhetorics. And they were grandstanding using, how can you renovate, you want to repair and renovate a building that you never built. Obomunda Stadium, why do they call it Obomunda Stadium? Former Ogbe Stadium was built by Obomunda. Successive administration has been renovating it. Renovation is maintenance of assets. You add it to the value of the asset. It does not constitute the historical cost value. You add it to the historical cost value. The history of the asset belongs to the achievement belongs to who historically conceptualized and built it.
Right.
Are we going to talk of the secretarial building? You renovated and you put it on 5D. You now begin to glamorize it on a screen. We are building hub here and there. Which of the hub? What became the impact? Almost 9 billion GDP economy in dollars. You could not stratify, and you say you are an investment banker with Aso Egodalo as your economic advisor. It just tell you that in these 3 C's, credibility, competence, and capacity. When credibility is off it, your competence and capacity is useless. The problem of Obaseki was never about competence and capacity. Even some of the people he worked with, they had the capacity and some of them had competence, but when they lack credibility.
But when Oshomole brought him in 2016, did you not know that he didn't have the first C, which is credibility?
Oshomole was the leader, so he was able to use him. Now Obaseki became the leader. And he was lacking credibility. So every other person that was competent and have capacity under him will flow with his style of leadership that lacks credibility.
So Oshomole never knew that. I mean,
let me come again.
Please, yes.
Oshomole was the credible leader.
In 2016.
I'm a manager. I'm a business owner. I know my staffs. If I'm not credible, my credibility can be able to cover up for the non-credibility of some of my staff.
So you can hire someone with that credibility because you know you.
I can manage his capacity and competence. That is what I need for my productivity. While I'm the credible one, he will caution himself not to misbehave.
But he was going to be the governor of Oshomole after 2016.
Do you understand? Because it was Oshomole managing him, he never showed his
So it was when they parted ways.
Of course.
That became apparent. Of course, that according to you, this man didn't have credibility.
Now the chief executive officer of the state no longer Oshomole.
So you should have given it yourself now, allow Oshomole to continue to manage him the whole time.
No, not necessarily. Oshomole was already off.
Right.
Oshomole was off the scene. If you love other people, even when the credibility was lacking in you, inherently you know, it's psychological, it's in you, it's a character. Strength of character matters in leadership.
Okay, I want to
supposed to have worked on that.
Right,
but you allow it to flatter because how can you explain that you are serving the interest, stewardship leadership? You came to serve the interest of Edo State, and you were furthering those progress in the hands of outsiders. We are using consultancy to run the whole state. Look at the e-governance. How many we want to talk? Not everybody realizes in the whole Nigeria that Edo State is the only state that is driving e-governance. You can access anything about Edo State, go online, you get anything you want, procurement, blah blah blah. And in the procurement process, the so-called smooth due process that you initiated, you design in the system, is leading to projects that are awarded without even anything going on there, and monies are released. Does that not defeat whatever essence or relevance of the procurement, the smooth procurement process? That's the credibility I'm talking about. Can we still talk about the survey farm? The contractors, did they pass through the process of procurement, the smooth process, the most talked about Obaseki's e-governance in procurement process? What was the narrative blue that I just explained to you? That you have to be awarded the contract almost 3 times. It's snowballed from 15 billion to 28 billion within just 1 year. And they went through the same smooth e-governance process. Meanwhile, we now discover now that the e-governance platform entirely was outsourced. Do you know what that means? That is even an attack on the security of Edo State. Don't you know? These are sensitive issues. Is that why the government of Obaseki says that some non-state actors are operating it from the back end? You cannot outsource such critical. Can they be integral? Can they be integrated into the system? Work in house. Of course. So the man that is driving, what tomorrow you just wake up in this era of cyber manipulation? Can Washington outsource their e-governance platform to outsiders? If you wake up tomorrow and you discover that the federal government treasury single account is outsourced to an outsider, how will you feel? This station, the whole television stations in Nigeria will not rest that day. But whenever it's an APC state, everybody we tend to grandstand. If found wanting, Obaseki should be arrested. He's exposing the state. Well, the man has said that he's not afraid of the FCC. Nobody, I say he should be arrested. It's not even about FCC. Yes, that's it's a security risk. That he has all his, for him to say in the media. All the T's crossed and all the I's dotted. When the chiefs are there, we will call to give accountability is not witch hunting. Okay, we'll get to that, but just a minute, because we're wrapping up now. Just for a minute. Very soon it's going to be so lot of shouts and Hula Balu and Razmata has around 100 days in office for Monday. What should other people be expecting in this regard beyond all of the media showing that we're saying? I practically demand an apology for that, for the state governor. No, until because you are watching it, you have your station is on ground in Edo. Even throughout the campaign, one of your staff was right there in Edo. Right. And you see what the man is doing right now. We are doing opening up the infrastructure sector. We are repositioning the economy. Even people, there was a media outing or a fact-finding outing by a media outfit in Benin who went to Satana Market in Saplero to confirm if the effect of the banning or suspension of the association and the Yeki and unions has reduced the prices, and it was obvious. A lot is going on in that regard, and the government is forming itself. Any moment from within the next 2 weeks, the commissioners will be announced, and we'll hit the ground running. Some award has been made, some contracts have been awarded. some ongoing project, because we are talking about government is continuum.
Right.
As far as we have to review some things, if it was not government continuum, the love of Edo that the Okpebholo led and so doesn't want every of our dime to miss. He does not want abandoned project. In the process of continuing, he has to review what he met on ground. For example, the Stella Obasanjo. We are not talking of Igoraki, the so-called university of Igoraki. We know all the projects that he hurriedly commissioned. Remember, he withdrew about 14.something billion from the account within 2 weeks before handing over. That he was trying to settle contractor. How do you commission a project that is not completed? What do you call the project? You call it Stella Obasanjo Hospital. You did not call it a block building inside the hospital. We will not talk of the education hub in Iyaro. We are still going to go there because everyone in the job commissioner was pointing it out that how can this man be commissioning an education building, a block of building inside the whole complex? It doesn't work.
That's spoken with somebody who is in Edo State, neutral, not so APC or PDP affiliated, who says that the former government had done an amazing work with the Ministry of Education on Iyaro.
The project. I'm not talking of the project. Is nobody is saying the building is not. Have you completed it? Why are you commissioning it? What if by commissioning it you're supposed to put it to use? What if the government now say I'm not paying the contractor again? You have been paid
on account of the commission.
Of course. These are the things we are talking about. Nobody is talking about the ShopRite. You remove Edo library. You didn't tell Edo State people. You did not give the land to ShopRite. Is it by equity you made arrangement with ShopRite to come there? What is the stake of Edo people in all these things? Because you get them land. Land is equity. Did they pay for the land? Where is their accountability? Okay. Nobody talks about destroying the Central Hospital, the specialist hospital. You want to put Moa Museum of West Africa
with artifacts in it.
Is it not artifact, with whatever is bringing it to it. Artifact belong to the
all right.
And you destroy. Look at it. A man that you said is competent, capacity and credible, you destroy a specialist hospital, you want to build a museum to replace it, and you are not transferring money again, billions, to be building Stella Obasanjo Hospital. What a waste.
All right. I think
the same Moa is owned by private, your friend Yanacho, Philip Yanacho. What happened to you? Invested $1 million from Azura Power Project. Those stake in Azura was $2 million. You remove $1 million there.
I know you have a lot to say about this, but 100 million offices in February. I don't think it's alive.
Yeah, we have stories to tell. Yes. Edo is rising.
Great. I will look forward to all of that. Incidentally, these are leaving it with our discussion this morning. Everyone, thank you so very much for spending part of the morning with us, myself and Jumai. Mansour, we do appreciate that. Just to remind you that the views of our guests are our opinions. This is Global Television. We'll leave you now. Shortly, we'll bring you Talk Sports.